Hello, welcome to Invictus Motors. My name is Bashir Zahir, and today we've got this Mercedes G-Wagon. This isn't just, the standard G-Wagons that we're so used to on the channel. This is from 1989. It's the GE280. Before we can delve into this G-Wagon and show you a little bit about the authenticity and what makes this so beautiful and characterful, don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, because you watching this channel, you watching this video, we earn money from YouTube, which we donate to a UK registered charity, and currently they're in the process of building a school in Afghanistan. But the other thing that they also do quite frequently is build wells. I mean, we find a problem, well, the charity finds a problem and say, okay, here's a village in the middle of nowhere in Helmand in Afghanistan, and the people of that village, the women and the little kids, have to drive for, walk. We're so used to driving, walk for 5 kilometers just to get to the well. And then they walk back with the water. And, we shouldn't be having these kind of issues in 21st century. I think we're so privileged in our day and age to actually make a difference. So we go out there, the charity does that and digs up a well for them. And, here's a little snippet of what's before and what's after. And now, onto the G-Wagon. Firstly, having lived in Germany, this is finished in this very gorgeous rot metallic paint color. Rot means red, but it's not red. I think you need to see this in real life to actually really appreciate the beautiful red this is. This is the GE280. We're going to be talking about the engine in a minute, but just the way it's finished and the way it stands out, I think it's incredible. The Root metallic paint color with the blacked out grills at the front, I think it looks absolutely stunning, combined with the really classic looking alloys. I mean, these alloys are tiny, but in comparison to just looking at the tires, they do fill up the arch spaces extremely well. And then you've got the arch extension and the classic G-Wagon look to this. But what's underneath the hood is also important. This being the 280 GE, it has the 2.7 litre diesel engine, and I think just the engine bay in itself is an artwork. It's just an amazing, beautiful work of engineering all put together the way it looks here. In terms of the 280 GE, this has the 2.7 litre diesel engine, which produces 150 brake horsepower, 228 Newton meters of torque. And in terms of the 0 to 60, which is surprisingly quick, it does it in roughly 12.8 seconds. That's from 0 to 60 miles per hour. It has all the power you need to make your journey comfortable, fast, efficient, and everything you need it to be. And now think about all that performance and all that you had under this hood in 1989. Isn't that something? To me, it definitely is. And what I most love about this isn't just necessarily what you find on the outside, because to me, the outside, this being that 3-door with obviously a 5-seat layout and a lovely boot space, to me, what you find on the inside, which is absolutely stunning, and that is for two reasons. You've got this gorgeous period cloth fabric combined with leather on the side, and it still looks and feels as if it's just left the factory. You wouldn't think this is done 120,000 kilometers. I mean, this is what kindly attracts us to the cars from the 80s and from the 90s. And they have that classic heritage, classic look to it, which is absolutely timeless. And how well they hold value is pretty incredible. You wouldn't think this is done 122,000 miles. I mean, to me, the roof fabric is nice and tight, exactly where it is. The period cloth combined with leather is exactly as it's left the factory. It even smells like brand new. And that is credit to the build quality to these earlier Mercedes. And also, you've got the walnut wood display. And something that the cameraman pointed out is it's just crazy. Just goes nicely there. And Mr. Zahir can now jump in at the back. And now this is special, whether you're a granddad or you're somebody that's just single or married with a kid or a wife, doesn't matter what your situation is. All of this is special. And the more I look at this car, the more it makes me appreciate the engineering and how well thought cars used to be in the old days. The sound of doors like this, that's another thing you don't get, because even with the Porsches and the older cars, they had a feel to how the door sounded, or when you touch the panels, they were built with firmness, with some grit in there. This is a 6 owner from new, but what's most amazing is the current owner had it for 5 years. He part exchanged this against a Mini Countryman, and the owner prior to that had it for 13 years. The vehicle is as if it's left factory, considering it's from 1989, and 6 owners isn't much at all. It's absolutely rust free from the bottom, and in terms of service history, it's got an absolutely impeccable service history with a lot of paperwork. So hopefully I've convinced you to buy this, and if I haven't, just look at how this back door swings open. And if need be, you've got a tow at the back, and I think that should tick off all of your requirements to come and buy this. Let's take it up for a drive and tell you a little bit more. What I also like about this G-Wagon is the fact that it still has working central locking. And if you're curious with what the central locking looks like, basically this little fob here, locked, unlocked. And that's for a car in 1989. This is my first experience of driving this, so hopefully I can tell you a little bit more about what it's like to drive, how it feels to be back to that time in the history. From a first experience point of view, this is very unique. I like the fact that it's got all these buttons. It has a very tactile feel to it, and I'm almost overwhelmed by the experience of getting in to drive this. I think some of the things I'm still having to almost get used to try to get a feel to it, because we are so used to driving cars that are, you know, full of gimmicks and little gadgety things, where I think we kind of forget the authenticity and the quality that these are made with, and how different things used to be in 1989, and in some ways how far we've come. That was a good turning circle, and it's remarkable, you know, for a 2.7 litre diesel engine in 1989 to produce 150 bhp, 226 newton meters of torque precisely, and the 0 to 62 miles per hour, as a matter of fact, in 12.3 seconds. We're at 40 miles an hour, feels comfortable to drive, picks up speed really well, and it feels and drives really tightly. And in terms of my overview that I did of the car, saying that it doesn't even have a spot of rust, that's a slight exaggeration. It has its own tiny age-related marks here and there. they're nothing major. It wouldn't be anything that I would consider having great importance or that they need to be done immediately. And having driven, you know, some of the newer, later G-Wagons, I think this has more flavor, more character, and to me, I would rather have one of these in my driveway and, you know, have as a car either to daily or as a second car with a bit of classic, you know, history to it, you know, character to it, and still feel part of the older classic 90s and 80s cars. And what's also unbelievable is how well they've kept value. I mean, the 90s cars or the 90s or the 80s 4x4s, if you were to pick up a Range Rover from the 90s, they easily sell for anywhere between £5,000 to £10,000. That's for a Range Rover. But then you look at the Toyotas of that era, I mean, gosh, some of them go in excess of £20,000. And this being, in terms of just this being a G class, this is definitely by far easily the cheapest G-Wagon. And not forgetting, it's one you can practically drive every single day. And that's a lot that this car has to offer. Now hopefully I've covered with the driving side of it, you know, what it's like to drive this. A lot of paperwork it has, 6 owners from new. Condition overall is absolutely superb. And if you're looking for something of this era and you want a good, fine, well-maintained example, here it is. And just want to say thank you for watching the video, and stick around for more content, more videos, and see you in the next couple of reviews. Bye bye.